What's up, Cowboys Nation? Welcome back to the channel, where we talk all things Dallas Cowboys. First things first, thank you for sticking with us through what has been a rough season. This team is still working hard, trying to improve and figure out how to get back to the level of dominance we've seen in years past. If you're still riding with us through the highs and lows, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. Alright, let's jump into the big news of the day. The Cowboys are in freefall at 3-7, and it's becoming clear that this offseason will need to be transformational. Head coach Mike McCarthy's future is uncertain, the roster has holes all over, and both the offense and defense need serious attention. Today, we're diving into a potential move that's been predicted for the Cowboys, targeting Denver Broncos veteran DJ Jones in free agency. Could Jones be part of the solution to our defensive woes? Let's break it all down. Let's start with the numbers. The Cowboys are currently giving up 151 rushing yards per game, second worst in the NFL, only behind the Carolina Panthers. Let that sink in for a second. A defense that was once a cornerstone of this team is now getting gashed on the ground week in and week out. This isn't just a coaching issue, it's a personnel problem. The defensive line is struggling to hold its ground, and while players like Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence are still making plays, the interior of the line is a glaring weakness. If the Cowboys want to return to dominance, they need to address this immediately. Matt Holder from Bleacher Report has suggested that the Cowboys could pursue Denver Broncos defensive tackle DJ Jones in free agency. Here's why this could make sense. 1. Run-stuffing ability. Jones is one of the best run defenders in the league. He's physical, disruptive, and excels at clogging up running lanes, exactly what the Cowboys need. 2. Durability. One of Jones' biggest strengths is his availability. Since the start of the 2023 season, he's missed only one game and has been credited with just 2 missed tackles. That kind of reliability is invaluable, especially for a team that's been plagued by injuries. 3. Cap-friendly option. Jones is nearing 30, which means he likely won't command the same massive contracts as younger stars. After signing a 3-year, $30 million deal with Denver in 2022, he might be looking for one last payday, making him an affordable option for the Cowboys. With Dallas projected to have limited cap space, around $9.3 million in 2025, Jones could be a realistic and impactful addition without breaking the bank. While adding DJ Jones would be a great start, let's be real, one signing isn't going to fix everything. The Cowboys need to do much more to address their defensive struggles. Here are some other steps that could complement a move for Jones. 1. Drafting defensive talent. The 2025 NFL Draft will be crucial for Dallas. Adding young, athletic defensive linemen to pair with veterans like Jones could create a balanced and formidable front. 2. Retaining key players. The Cowboys could lose tackle Osa Odigizua to a richer team in free agency. Keeping him in Dallas should be a priority, as he's been one of the brighter spots on an otherwise disappointing defensive line. 3. Scheme adjustments. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, if retained, will need to adjust his scheme to better defend against the run. The addition of a player like Jones could allow for more aggressive play calling. On the offensive side, things haven't been much better. Star wide receiver CeeDee Lamb recently opened up about the team's struggles, stating that opponents are actively trying to embarrass the Cowboys this season. Obviously, everybody is looking to embarrass us, right? Lamb said. They have the opportunity, and when they do, they try to put us out. I feel like we had so much success over the last 3 years as far as the regular season, it's starting to bite us right now. Lamb's comments highlight a harsh reality. When you're the Dallas Cowboys, the target on your back is always bigger. After 3 consecutive 12-5 seasons, opponents are relishing the opportunity to take down America's team during this down year. The Cowboys' issues extend far beyond any one player or position. Here's a quick look at what needs to happen this offseason. 1. Leadership overhaul. With Mike McCarthy on the hot seat, a change at head coach feels inevitable. The Cowboys need a leader who can inspire and adapt. 2. Quarterback questions. With Dak Prescott sidelined for the season, the team must evaluate whether he's the long-term answer or if it's time to start planning for the future. 3. Cap space creativity. Jerry Jones and the front office will need to get creative to free up cap space and make the necessary roster moves. This could include restructuring contracts or making tough cuts. The game started with promise, a quick touchdown drive from the Texans, followed by a solid kickoff return for Dallas. But, in classic 2024 Cowboys fashion, that return was called back due to a penalty. This set the tone for the entire game. The Cowboys struggled in every phase. They allowed 5.6 yards per rush while only managing 5.3 yards per pass offensively. 9 penalties cost them 66 yards, and they went 0 for 4 on fourth downs. Time of possession, lost. Turnover battle, lost. This wasn't just a loss, it was a systematic breakdown. Let's start with the special teams unit, which had a nightmare of a game. On one drive, the Cowboys were forced to burn a timeout because they had 12 men on the field. Kicker Brandon Aubrey missed a 40-yard field goal that could have made it a one-possession game at halftime. Returner Cavante Turpin had a fantastic start with a return past the 35-yard line, only for it to be called back due to a penalty. Even the much-hyped fake punt attempt was poorly executed and easily stopped by the Texans. Special teams, which should be a reliable part of any NFL team, has become a glaring liability for Dallas. The offensive line continues to be the Achilles heel of this team. They allowed 10 pressures and 2 sacks, with right tackle Terrence Steele having another rough outing. Guard Zach Martin, clearly not at 100%, struggled to maintain his usual all-pro level of play. Backup TJ Bass was thrust into action and immediately gave up a sack on fourth down. In the running game, the line wasn't much better. The Cowboys managed just 64 yards on 18 attempts, an average of 3.6 yards per carry. Without a reliable offensive line, it's impossible to establish a balanced attack, leaving the team one-dimensional and predictable. Backup quarterback Cooper rushed through the ball an eye-popping 55 times in this game. That's an absurd number for any quarterback, let alone a backup playing behind a shaky offensive line. What's more puzzling is the lack of action for Trey Lance. With Dak Prescott out for the year and the playoffs essentially out of reach, wouldn't this have been the perfect opportunity to give Lance some snaps and see what he can do? It wasn't all bad. A few players stood out in the loss. CeeDee Lamb. Despite facing double teams and the Texans' top cornerback, Derek Stingley Jr., Lamb delivered another solid performance. He caught 8 passes on 12 targets for 93 yards and added the team's longest rush of the night. Even without much help from the offensive line or the running game, Lamb continues to prove why he's one of the best in the league. Cavante Turpin. Turpin had a flashy 64-yard touchdown reception in the second quarter and finished with 3 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. While his opportunities were limited, he made the most of them and showed why he deserves a bigger role in the game plan moving forward. We can't talk about this game without addressing the coaching. Head coach Mike McCarthy made several questionable decisions. Abandoning the run game. Despite being down only 10 points heading into the fourth quarter, the Cowboys ran the ball just 5 times in the second half. Sticking with Cooper Rush, as mentioned earlier, there's no logical explanation for not giving Trey Lance a chance in a season that's already slipping away. At this point, it feels like the coaching staff is out of ideas and time. Now, let's talk Cowboys fans. Do you think DJ Jones would be a good addition to the Cowboys defense? What other moves do you think Jerry Jones needs to make to turn this team around? How do you feel about CeeDee Lamb's comments? Do you agree that teams are out to embarrass the Cowboys? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a discussion going about how we can fix this team and get back to our winning ways. Before you go, don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive Cowboys content. We'll keep bringing you the latest news, rumors, and analysis as we follow America's team through thick and thin. Thanks for tuning in, Cowboys Nation. Let's keep the faith. Brighter days are ahead. As always, go Cowboys!